Guy, thanks so much for talking with me. I was
Mhm.
hoping that we could start with you just telling us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for Congress.
Sure. So my name is Guy Morgan. I'm running for the District 2, which is Northeast Iowa, which Cedar Rapids, Cedar Falls, Waterloo, Mason City, Dubuque, all these great places. And um, the reason why I'm running is a little bit of a story. It's a story about my father. So my father, his name is J. Peter Morgan. He was born in Geneva, Iowa. He graduated from Ellsworth Community College and then got a job at Iowa State working as a vet tech at Iowa State. He worked there for many years and then decided he wanted to pursue his true dreams, his true goals, which are antiques. He loved antiques. He loved restoring antiques, and he also loved oil paintings. So he made a bad decision and decided to quit his job, pull all the money out of retirement, get as much money as he could, and open an antique shop in Nevada. And he had it for about a year and did not do very well. He ended up losing everything and descending into pretty bad debt because of it. Um, Along with this debt, he was looking for someone to blame. So he started blaming immigrants, he started blaming minorities, he started blaming the government, he started blaming liberals, descended into pretty extreme right wing ideas. And he started getting into fights with me, with his brothers, with his parents. And these fights got worse and worse over the years until eventually he decided he wasn't going to talk to us at all. He also joined a militia at this time and spent every single dollar he absolutely did not have on guns and ammunition to prepare for whatever evil the MAGA party decided he needed to prepare for today, right? It's absolutely absurd stuff. And then COVID happens. Donald Trump has his message that it's the China disease, that it can't really hurt um, true Americans. But then the death toll starts rising and people are dying. And he kind of switches his message a little bit to, oh, it's just all fake news, it's all fake information, it's all liberal woke media. People, this isn't actually happening, and convinces a lot of his followers not to take vaccines, not to do this type of stuff. My father then gets sick. He decides not to tell his family. He decides not to seek treatment. He decides not to go to the hospital.
Hmm.
And so, after battling with COVID for about a month, he dies.
Oh
He
my gosh.
dies alone and in pain in his trailer. And it was at this moment that I decided I was going to do everything in my power to fight against the MAGA party, right? And I know that it wasn't just me. There was also this kind of feeling throughout the country at this time that after Donald Trump's first term, it's got to end, right? This absolutely is unacceptable. And so the people rose up. They gave the greatest gift they could give to the Democratic Party. They gave them the presidency, the House, the Senate, full trifecta. However, the Democrats didn't really represent the will of the people. They still kind of cowed to the MAGA ideology. They still kind of gave into their intimidation and didn't actually create the change that the people wanted. The For the People bill is a great example of this that just completely fell through to intimidation, and
Mhm.
it's not okay. So I saw the weakness in Congress and decided that it was going to be, of course, and we'll get a phone call. um, Decided that I had to do something about it. So I'm a fairly poor individual. I had to save up for a while in order to be able to run, but here I am running, trying my best, and gonna hopefully do something about the actual MAGA party. You know,
What what a difficult story about your
yeah,
father.
yeah.
I'm so sorry
It's
to hear.
it's I've also talked to a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that have similar things of not necessarily the dying part, but just having a lot of distance created in these families because of the pain, because of the suffering, because of just the hatred that comes along with becoming a devoted MAGA member, right?
Mhm.
They lose their sense of compassion for other people, and it splits families. It causes a lot of pain and suffering, and this isn't even including any of the crazy stuff they've just been doing in this election cycle, right? Where all this ICE stuff, all this this Doge destroying the government, tariffs destroying the economy, like just openly killing people and being okay with it in the Caribbean. It's
Mhm.
it's insane how every single day there's another level of insanity that we get to wake up to.
Is this your first run for office or have you run for other
Yes,
offices in
yes.
the past?
No, this is my first round.
And
Yeah.
have you been active? Would you describe yourself as active in Democratic politics? Like, did you ever volunteer or do you vote in
Yeah.
primaries or caucuses?
Yep. So I'm currently in Boone, Iowa. I participate a lot in the Boone County Democrats, as well as I also participate a lot in the Story County Democrats. I do a lot of volunteering for them.
Mhm.
Um, since I've run, I've also done a lot of volunteering with the Northeast Iowa Food Bank. They have a mobile food pantry that they do 9 times a month, where they kind of go to a county and will have they'll have a semi pull up to a community building, unload a bunch of food, and then spread it out to the community. It's supposed to be about 2, 3 weeks worth of food that they're giving each person. So I've
Mhm.
been basically going to every single one of those and helping with a lot of that, as well as every event that I do. I do food drives, and any amount of food that's donated, I will match it with campaign funds. I'm just trying to help these small communities because there's a lot of pain and suffering in
How
there.
roughly, do you have an idea of how many of the counties in the second district you've been to since you started this venture?
Um, So the Northeast Iowa Food Bank only covers 15 of the 22 counties.
Mhm.
As far as ones that I've actually been to, I think I haven't been to Alamance and Clinton, and I
Mhm.
think I've been to every single other one.
Mhm.
Um,
And
I think it's something I should probably know off the top of my head, but I do
can, that's fine.
not.
Can you talk a little bit about your thought process and why run for Congress as opposed to running for the Iowa legislature or
Yeah,
for a county
absolutely.
office where you live?
Yeah. So if it was any other year, if it was 2020, if it was any other year, I absolutely would have. The problem is there's a lot of fear going around about what's going to happen in Donald Trump's next election in the or not, it's not even his next election, but in the next presidential election in
Mhm.
2028. And from what I'm seeing, it does not look like the executive branch would stand up if he does anything, because obviously he's in control of it. The military is not going to do anything if he decides to run again against the Constitution. The judicial branch is not going to do anything if he decides to run again. And so it's going to be up to Congress. Um, right now, with the level of cowardice that I see in Congress, I don't think that they're going to do anything. We need new people in there that are willing to stand up, that are willing to do something about this MAGA movement, and that's something that I'm willing to do, right? And so that's why if it was any other time, I absolutely would have just run for probably Iowa House, and that would have been the beginning. But I'm scared of the times, and so I've decided to fully go for it, right? Fully decide to run and try and stop uh, this BS, you know.
How do you feel about this deal that ended the shutdown? And what would be your terms that you would have insisted on
Really
to end the shutdown?
extremely disappointed in the people that did it. Especially because Donald Trump he was right at the point where he was actively, even though the judges were telling him he had to provide SNAP benefits for money, he was deciding, no, feeding people is not okay. We're not going to spend money to feed people. That's a pretty extreme take. And if it would have actually ran out, there would have been a huge amount of people that would have turned against him. But they capitulated instantly, and so it won't even be a note in history now, right? It won't even matter because he had showed his level of greed, and it doesn't matter. It's I don't know. I'm not happy with it. You give in to bullies, and it doesn't make them stop, right? All that does is that just shows them, oh, we can get our way. That this bullying does work. And I'm yeah, so I'm very very disappointed. Would be how I would describe myself. Uh-oh, are you having some technical issues? Okay.
My dog's interjecting there. I think
Oh,
he
okay, okay.
did also at the deal then the
He's
shutdown.
voicing his support.
What are some of the other top issues that you plan to
Sure,
emphasize in your campaign?
absolutely. So, in my mind, the two main issues in my campaign is fighting for the environment and fighting against poverty. So, one of the things that I've noticed throughout my life, and one of the things that I care about a lot, is the environment, is the long-term health of our world. Climate change is very, very, very scary, right? It could be the end of the entire human race, and basically all I see is no one really doing much about it. Small incremental changes, trying to do programs where we will give a little bit of money to companies if they slightly change their behavior in order to be greener. And I don't think that that's enough. I don't think that's even close to enough. It's being dramatically, there's not enough being done about it. And I would like to see a lot more. I would like to see a lot more punishments given out to companies that decide to break the environment in order for profits. Recently, there was that big 3M where they were found to be dumping into Iowa and Minnesota waters, and they got a financial punishment. They got a fine for it. They had opted to kill people, and they only got a fine for it. I think that's completely unacceptable. It would not be okay if a person did that. Why is it okay for a company to do that? So I would like to see actual jail time for these types of crimes, especially for the executive suite. Hopefully be able to actually make some change, as well as lots more green initiatives. The fact that Trump cut all the funding towards EVs, towards solar, towards wind is completely unacceptable. The fact that he spent the $500 million to restart coal plants, when we know that coal plants kill people, we know that burning coal is unhealthy. And so he decided to kill people to have the long-term health of the nation decrease in order to make more money, in order to make more power, more cheap power. And I think that's completely unacceptable. As well as water quality here in Iowa, we have water quality issues all the time. And a lot of that is because of the destruction of wetlands as well as ag runoff. So I would like to see a lot of restoration of wetlands, buffer zones around rivers in order to help with agricultural runoff, are some things that I am a strong believer in. As far as poverty, which is the other issue, in my mind, education is the silver bullet, right? It helps if you can afford it, if you have the time, it'll help in every situation. Being able to get a higher paying job because you have more education, more specialized information. It's not accessible to everyone, though, which is a problem, but it doesn't help the people that are actively working. And so I think just as important as education is unions, being able to strengthen unions, be able to fight for actual workers and having a living wage. In this last year here in Iowa, there's $900 million taken in wage theft, which is people that are underpaid from what they were promised, whether it's less hours or less time. And that's $900 million from people that need it the most. And that's completely unacceptable. Being able to strengthen unions would help against all that. Allowing more unions to strike, allowing protections for strikers are things that I care about a lot. Yeah, so I would say that those are kind of my like two big issues. And it's also why I do so much with food, right? Just trying to help. I'm a poor person, right? I to this day work for $10 an hour, right? I work front desk at a hotel for $10 an hour, and I see a lot of people that are poor and interact, and they're in bad shape, and it's getting worse.
And so you're doing all of this campaigning in your spare time, but you're still
Oh yeah,
working full
oh
time
yeah,
in Boone. Okay.
oh yeah, and driving.
And then driving.
Yeah, I drive
Can-
probably 8,000 miles in the last month here.
oh,
It's a lot.
wow. That's
Yeah.
a lot. Can you talk a little bit about your family connections to the second district? Because obviously you're not living in
Sure.
the second district now,
Um,
and that's not required. You just have
yep,
to be a resident of the state. But
yep. So, I was born at the hospital in Ames, but I grew up in a little town called Garden City, which is in Hardin County.
mm,
I believe the population's like 100. It's a itty bitty little guy. I lived there for quite a while until my parents got a divorce. And then I lived with my mother in Ames. So I've gone there, and then I went to Ames, and then I went to UNI. So I've kind of gone back and forth in my actual living. Um, my father and his entire family is from that area. And on my mother's side, I have an uncle that lives in Cedar Rapids, with cousins that are over in Cedar Rapids too.
mhm.
So I have a lot of family connections there. And then also in my personal life, I've gone kind of back and forth between 2 and 4.
Mhm.
But I'm also someone who's rented, right? I don't have a home. I don't have any actual like roots connection to this to 4. It's just where I'm at, where I lay my head.
There are three other Democrats right now actively
Yep.
campaigning in the second district. What would you say to voters who are like, "Hey, I like all of these people, so why
Sure.
should they vote for you and for instead of for one of the other candidates in the primary?"
Absolutely. So a lot of my message is I'm not a politician. I'm trying to fight for poor people. I'm trying to fight for lower class, middle class, because I think they're the ones being harmed the most by Republicans, as well as take long term goals for the government, trying to protect the human race through environmentalism, trying to protect poor people. That is a lot of my message and a lot of what I do in the day to day. How that is exclusive from the other Democrats, a lot of the other Democrats' message is basically just talking about this is the horrible things Trump is doing today, and I'm going to undo it, right? And I don't think that is enough of a message. They don't really have like a solid standing platform of their own, and so I would say that that's mostly what makes me stand out is that I'm young. I'm definitely going to fight. Uh, I make a promise to every single person that I will see change, or I will be dragged kicking and screaming from the floor of the house. Right? I mean, I will stand up to intimidation. Not a problem for me. I have lost people to the MAGA movement, as I've said, and so it does not bother me at all to stand up and cause a ruckus. Right? I'll stir the pot.
What's the best way for people to keep up with your campaign?
Absolutely. So my handle on everything is vote for your guy. So it's
Mhm.
vote for your guy at Gmail is the email. Voteforyourguy.com is the website. I keep an active calendar on there for every single event that I go to, which is something that I don't see enough people do. I don't know why that is that a lot of candidates don't have a calendar on their website, but I
I
do.
agree.
Yeah.
I endorse your platform of candidates putting all their events on their website.
Yeah, yeah, just making it very easy to access, but whatever.
Is there anything I didn't ask that you think would be important for people to know about you or your campaign?
um I didn't talk about my mother very much. My mother is a retired special needs teacher, and so growing up, it's fairly hard with a single mother. And I'm it probably doesn't come through. I'm 7 foot tall. I eat an enormous amount. I literally ate that woman at a house and home, and so I understand the problems of being low income at a young age throughout my life. But when I went to UNI, and the reason, one thing I haven't covered is why I came back. So I went to UNI. I lived in Cedar Falls for quite a while, but then my mother got injured after her retirement, and I've decided to come back to help her. And so that's why I'm currently in District 4
Hmm.
instead of District 2, right?
Got it.
Which was always the goal, was to run for District 2. But I decided that the health of my mother matters more than that, and so it's okay. I'll drive another 2 hours a day. It's okay. It doesn't bother me none.
Were you already thinking about District 2 before Ashley Hinson announced that she was running for Senate, or was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
something? Okay.
Basically, since the For the People bill, right, the 2021 bill For the People, I HR1. I got very obsessed with that bill. I loved every aspect of it, and so when I saw that collapse, when I saw them give in to the intimidation of Mitch McConnell and not actually push the bill through, I had basically decided at that point. So it's been about 4 years now that I've been solidly planning on running for Congress. I
And
just had to save up money,
let's just remind people who don't remember that one. There was a lot of political reform in that bill, right? No
Yes, yeah, it was
gerrymandering. What else was in the
so
bill?
it was a lot of securing voters' rights. It was a lot of also anti-corruption things, of making campaigns disclose not only the money from the candidates, but everyone within the campaign had to disclose where they're getting money from. There's a couple of other aspects of it that were, but the main focus was anti-corruption, especially in political campaigns, and securing voters' rights.
Mhm.
And yeah, it did not go through,
Were
unfortunately.
you active as a volunteer in any of the Democratic presidential campaigns at any point?
No, no, I
Okay.
was not. No.
Mhm. Well, Guy Morgan, thank you so much for
Yeah.
taking the time and
Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you.